Let's move on quickly to our next issue of discussion. Armed banditry in the Northwest has become a Frankenstein monster that is difficult to tame. Apart from killings and abductions by the bandits, they now impose levies on some hapless communities. In Sokoto State, for instance, daring bandits imposed levies ranging from 400,000 naira to 700,000 naira on some communities, and they also issued ultimatum on residents to pay the money before Friday or they will be attacked. And some residents have also been barred from their farms pending payment of the levies. Now, Babajide, according to a source of this story, people are already paying, because they have no other options, and they prefer to, pay and live in peace in their communities than rely on security agencies, as it were.
Yes.
How did we let this happen?
For so long, we did not deal decisively with these boys. And they've now even assumed that they are bigger than the state. This is what we are seeing. At the embryonic level, we should have crushed these boys. Right now, they have expanded their tentacles. They are mobile. As we've seen, some of our strategies, even in terms of the military campaign, are not working. Nigerians will recall that for the past 2 years, I've been saying that, look, if we want to deal decisively with these people, we must block their exit points from the contiguous states. But as we have seen, we didn't do that. So you have a situation in which there is some level of improvement in Zamfara, but the same bandits have moved into Sokoto now. We are now reading virtually every day now atrocities committed by bandits in Sokoto State. It was not like that before. It's easy to explain what has happened. That some bandit leaders have simply slipped into neighboring Sokoto State, and Sokoto borders Niger. You see the areas where they are active now. They are able to use the telco services of Niger Republic to call people to negotiate for ransom and all kinds of rubbish, because our strategy was not effective enough to block them from escaping. If you are hitting them, all of those states link one another. Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, they link one another through vast forests. Kuyambana, Sububu forest, all of these forests, they link one another. Some of them stretch as far as Central African Republic. So the way to do it, block them from escaping, so that we know that the military campaign will be total and it will achieve realistic goals. Now, it's not new. This thing that they've gone there to do, they've already applied in Katsina, they've applied in Zamfara, True. They've applied in Niger. So when they get to a place new, they let you realize that, look, we are in charge now, and you live by our rules. The alternative is you won't be allowed to harvest, and we could even burn your village. That's what, how wicked bandits are. Sometimes when they attack a village and they kill people, they stay there to stop you from even retrieving the corpses of people. Ask anyone familiar with the idiosyncrasies of these guys. They won't even let you pick corpses, so that the humiliation of our people will be total. If you can't pick corpses of your loved ones for 5, 6, 1 week, you know what that means. So this is what they are doing to our people. When they were resisted in southern Kebbi, those ones were not used to paying to access their farms. They slaughtered 88 in one day. So in the end, our people, in exchange for peace, will gladly say, okay, we pay. Look at what happened with Dogo Gide, one of the most notorious bandits in our country, who killed another bandit because that bandit went to some communities to kill people. He didn't do that because he liked those people. It was because he had already made peace with people of those communities. And as far as he's concerned, since he had made peace with those people, you dare not come and harass them and be killing people. So that's what we are seeing. So Dogo Gide, who is known to have kidnapped school kids, kidnapped all kinds of people, cannot be seen now as the poster boy of a nice bandit. No, he's not. He's not. It's just a case of, no, these ones, they've paid for me to protect them. You cannot then come and take their lives.
Okay, Sam, now before we take this matter home, what do you make of this position and how the government has handled the situation so far? How can we nip this in the bud quickly?
Let me start from the very last point you made. Right. Nipping it in bud. I don't know what we're going to nip because we already have, a monster on our hands. And we have repeatedly said so, right here on this forum. Almost every week that journalists have gathered here, more than 50% of the time, the issues that bother us have had to do with the crisis that we have in Nigeria in terms of security. So it's a very big challenge, no doubt about it. Some of us have dared to, insinuate that some of the states that we have in the northeast and northwest, are indeed very close to being described as failed states. And we cannot be said to be sounding or to be alarmist. If you take Sokoto, for instance, out of 23 local governments, the last time I checked, about 14 of those local governments had bandits very active there. In Zamfara, of course, all of us know that Zamfara is the epicenter. In all of the 14 local governments, bandits are said to be very active. In Katsina, that has 34 local governments, bandits are said to be active in 13 local government areas. In Niger State, that has 25 local governments, bandits are said to be active in more than half.
Goes on
it just goes on. In fact, in Niger, the governor, as late as April, admitted that the Boko Haram group were controlling 5 local governments. I don't know how else you can describe, a national crisis. It's an emergency.
So what should be done?
What should be done is for the government to quicken its actions in terms of managing lives. That's the primary responsibility of government, right, to protect lives and property. Yes, we would admit that something is being done, but you can tell that the impact is not felt. The government seems to be overwhelmed.
Right.
And we need to act decisively about these things. And that's the point that is being made. There has to be a better strategy to managing it. I mean, sometimes we seem to have some kind of relief. And the next moment, the bandits head elsewhere. It just shows that there is a gap in terms of strategy. We've talked about things that need to be done. Jay has just talked about it here. But the question to ask is the government and indeed the military listening, or do they consider those of us who make submissions at this forum completely ignorant of what is happening? But these concerns are real.
All right.
The insecurity that is confronting the nation is one that we cannot just slip over anymore. And the government has to admit that things have to be done very quickly.
Well, let's leave it for now on this point of discussion.